Cecil County and the world, welcome to 30 at 6 Cecil TV. It's Veterans Day. A big salute to our veterans. Our guest tonight, Rob Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, Rob.
This is my dad. He was a veteran of the greatest generation, fought in World War II in the Army Air Force.
That's true.
Or Army Air Corps.
That's true. My father, my uncle, and my grandfather all were in World War II. Takes a lot of explanation to give you why my grandfather and my father and my uncle were there.
Start with your grandfather.
My grandfather? My grandfather, who's actually my step grandfather, and my grandmother robbed a cradle. So he was 7 years older than my dad, 4 years older than my uncle, but he was in the Black Sheep Squadron in the Marines. Oh. And he's even in the book, the Black Sheep book. And so he served with distinction. He was an enlistee in World War, not an enlistee, he was a draftee in World War II. And he retired a lieutenant colonel in the Marines.
Wow.
His most famous exploit, well, he ran out of, he got lost from his squadron somewhere. And they thought he was dead. And the biggest thing was he had a bottle of, God, what was it? Some alcohol. And he had the bottle for the whole squadron. I don't think they gave a damn whether he came back. But
they wanted
that bottle, and he wandered back in. He finally found his way in a Jeep, dropped him off, and they said they were so happy he had the bottle when he showed up.
You know, it's the little things.
But he did that. My uncle was in the Battle of the Bulge. My father never made it out of the States. He fell out of a park, B-17, and broke his back, and he never got out.
Ouch. Yeah, my dad he never made it out of the States either because he kept taking one course after another, navigator, bombardier, and by the time he got done with all his coursework, the war was over.
Yeah.
But
I think back then they wanted to go. It was, to me, the last real just war that we fought in. But yeah, my dad. I always figured my grandfather and my uncle. I hope they gave my father a lot of razzing about it because neither one of them was ever injured. My uncle was in artillery in the Battle of the Bulge in Europe. My grandfather flew, the Pacific, really bad stuff. They came home without a scratch, and my dad won the Battle of Wisconsin, I think, and he had a disabling back injury for the rest of his life. So,
where will we be without our veterans?
Absolutely,
Again,
absolutely.
Thank you, veterans, for serving. your
well,
country.
what would the world be from World War II? You stop and think of what those guys, and they were teenagers, a lot of them, and that was 4 or 5 years for us, longer for Great Britain, and their lives were turned around completely.
And the home front too.
And yes, and they just I know talking to my grandfather and my uncle, they never talked about it. And you don't see them. Most of the World War II guys don't make a big deal about it. And I know they just said, I just did my job. Did what I had to. That was my job. It's what we had to do.
And that's what the military does.
They were extraordinary people.
Yes. And it's right. We have a day off. The whole country takes a day off to honor our veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So I never served, even though I have this 21st Air Force hat.
That's okay. I didn't.
I served with the USO.
I didn't either, but I think that we came up in a different time. I went to college, and that's what my parents wanted me to do, Vietnam, and it's a different kind of war, different kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, I also had a college deferment, but I'm kind of wondering, and we'll get into our musical interview in a minute, but a lot of these countries, kids, as soon as they get out of high school, they're obligated to serve for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe in the military or maybe doing some other kind of
I think
public service.
That's what they have in Israel, I think, is, we should have, I think so. I wish that I had served, not in Vietnam. I wouldn't have wanted to be there then. But I do regret that I never, I almost went to the Coast Guard Academy, but there was some extenuating circumstances, but I was almost there. But I think that a national service requirement for a year would be outstanding. I think it would be a good experience, and it would help in a lot of different ways.
I think along those lines too, but let's put it to our viewers. Mm-hmm. If you have an opinion on this, let us know. Cecil TV always welcomes viewer input, and we're going to be having speaking of your input, we're going to be having a contest coming up for Christmas time that we can't reveal right now because you should know this is our 3rd year. November is our 3rd anniversary month, and we're going to have some highlights. Tonight on the show, Rob, we're going to have your musical performance as well as Andy Harris. Town Hall happened over the weekend, and the usual stuff right here at 30 to 6. So, having said that, let's talk about your music.
Okay.
You're going to play for us tonight? Original tunes, right?
Yeah, yes. If I can remember them, we've mentioned before, when you play at local level, you never get to play your own stuff.
This is kind of true.
That's not what they want to hear. So I had to do some homework. I hope I remember them.
Well, I'm sure everything will be fine because we didn't write the tunes, so we won't know. But I have backed you up on the drums, as has our director, Doug Donnelly, many times.
Yes.
When your band, the Heaters, back in the day.
Back in the day, yes.
That was a really happening band.
It was. I mean, it was a different, like everywhere else. Cecil County there was live music everywhere, up and down Route 40 in all the towns. And in the first decade of this millennium, I was working about 120 dates a year, and probably 90 of them were here in this county. And hell, I was a star from downtown Northeast to Route 40.
There you go.
That was it.
The Strip.
Yeah, the Strip. But how fast our star fades. But there's not many places to play anymore, for a variety of reasons, and I enjoyed it a lot. And that's why I met you. You were I moved up here, I guess, in 2003. And you were the first person I met. I've told you that.
And we played at the Naughty Goose on the water.
Yes, we did.
That was fun.
And I played there for 7 years, Naughty Goose and Woody's. But it was a lot of fun, and I've met so many wonderful people since I've been here, and now it's home. I came here for no particular reason. I was just on a drive one day, and I saw this house in Northeast. And I said, I'm not doing anything with my money right now. I'll buy that house. And here I am. I'm still here.
And those of us who have played music with you, Rob, are very glad that you've done that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I enjoyed every moment. I backed you up on the drums, and we played music in different capacities.
Yes, we have.
We've seen you out at the open mic at Wesley's. In fact, you and Doug started that open mic.
I was there 6 years, and then I took off in my motorhome for Florida for a while. Well, the assumption I was not coming back, but you took my place.
Well, you know what?
And I was just drawn back to Cecil County,
You're always welcome to come back and take my place,
I'm not taking your place. You're the man.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
I've done it twice when you can't do it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
Every second and fourth Tuesday at Wesley's, 8 to 11. Longest running open mic, Cecil County and the world in Cecil County. So, back again to your music.
Yes.
You've written your own tunes. You played a lot of like dance music and soul and rock and roll and country and blues.
Oh yeah, a lot of everything. I think.
Bass.
Yeah.
What else do you play besides guitar? You play mandolin as well too, right?
Play what?
Mandolin as well.
I play a little mandolin. I wouldn't.
Well, they're all little, aren't
yeah. Rim shot. Toom. Mandolin, I play on my album, and when I record, I could do it there. I could probably play a little bit when I play out, just like I play a little bit of keyboards, but not. I wouldn't say that I play them necessarily. I play harmonica some.
That's right.
Yes, I do. I play a lot of the same stuff you do. And been doing it longer than I want to admit. My God. I mean, I think of when probably you started. I've been playing it 56 years of performing, and that's a scary thought.
It's a good thought, though.
It keeps you young.
Yeah.
Keeps you young.
No longer with the Heaters, really, but you got a new group now, right?
I'm playing lead guitar for the Archer DePace Music Review, which is Mary Archer and her husband, Danny DePace. I know you've had Mary on the show a few times. I'm not sure if Danny was playing with her or not then, but it's an interesting little organization that Mary pretty much put together. And we have a number of people, and it's run a little review. Like we have Dawn Presky plays ukulele, guitar, and sings, and she usually opens our show, and she's there all the time. And then Kitty Mayo is a great singer. And she plays. George Walken plays. He's from the Delaware Music Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
George on the show.
Yeah, you've had George.
Kazoo.
So yes, he's the best kazoo player I ever heard.
A kazoist.
Pardon?
A kazoist.
Yes. Yes.
As he would
kazoist.
say.
But so he's there, and Dawn and Kitty, Danny, and our last show at the St. George's Country Store, Hugh Campbell did an hour, and he'll probably be in and out occasionally. And then I play lead. It's nice. I just play lead guitar and sing a few songs and just kind of take orders from Mary, which is easy to do. And it's an interesting. If you can ever go out and see it, you really should, because it's structured like a review. Everybody does a little bit, and then we kind of interact with each other. So it's not like going to hear a band. It's like all these different people have their little segments, but it's a loose organization. It's really interesting. I'm enjoying it immensely.
It flows like a nice show.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And they're playing upcoming where?
Some church near Route 40. I have no clue where it is. Mary has to give me the directions.
Well, what we're going to do at Cecil TV is hopefully we'll get the whole review in here, or go out and film them somewhere.
You'd have to get another. You'd have to buy another house, because there's usually about 10 of us, maybe 10, 12, but the different people.
I got some ideas.
Okay, that'd be fine.
And we'll let people know, let our viewers know next time you're performing somewhere. But right now, what do you say we get into some music?
Okay.
You got a couple songs you're going to play?
I will attempt to remember them, yes. If I forget them, I'll just mumble and smile.
Okay, well, make sure you introduce them and let people know what they're all about. And let's get this thing going.
Okay, yes, sir. Salute.